2 days in Jordan? Was it worth it? Honestly, before this trip, I was wondering, can you really experience Jordan in just 2 days? Our Jordan adventure started from Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, and we traveled for almost 14 hours to Amman. It was a long journey, but once we arrived, we had dinner and explored Amman at night. Even such a tiring trip, the city still had so much energy. The next morning, we started exploring Amman Citadel, one of the city's most historic landmarks, with ancient ruins and amazing views overlooking Amman. After that, we visited the Mosaic Center, where we got to see the traditional Jordanian craft of mosaic making. Of course, I also had my little Gutra moment before continuing our journey. Next stop was Mount Nebo, a famous biblical site with beautiful views of the surrounding landscapes. Then, we headed to the baptism site of Jesus, located along the Jordan River. It was such a unique experience to actually see the river and visit a place with so much historical and religious significance. And then, the Dead Sea. This was definitely one of the highlights for me. I covered myself in the famous Dead Sea mud and finally got to experience floating in the salty water. And yes, you really do float. That night, we headed to Wadi Musa, the town where Petra is located. We had a traditional Jordanian dinner and tried mansaf, a famous Jordanian dish made with meat, rice, and a rich yogurt-based sauce. The next morning was the moment I had been waiting for, Petra. Walking through the ancient city and finally seeing the famous treasury in person felt unreal. It was definitely one of those travel moments where photos just don't do the place justice. After Petra, we continued toward Wadi Rum, passing through the scenic Windmill Road before arriving at our desert camp. That night, we experienced a traditional Bedouin dinner, zarb, where the meat is cooked underground. It was such a different experience from anything I had tried before. The next morning, we explored Wadi Rum, known as the Valley of the Moon, with its incredible red desert landscapes and towering rock formations. And yes, we even got stuck in the sand. But the adventure didn't end there. We headed to Aqaba, Jordan's coastal city, where I finally got to try scuba diving. And just like that, my 2 day Jordan adventure was over. Was it exhausting? Yes. Was the schedule packed? Very. Would I do it again? 100%. As a beginner creator and someone who loves exploring new places, this trip reminded me that sometimes the best adventures are the ones where you barely have time to process what you're seeing. 2 days, so many places and memories I'll never forget. Jordan, you were definitely worth the long journey. Would you try to explore Jordan in just 2 days? Let me know in the comments.